I'm Darwin Campbell. You know, the Morning Touch is brought to you by SamaritanTouch Homeless Services, the FSBC in Glendale, and today we are hosted by Houston's First Baptist Church in Houston, Texas. We are glad to be in the presence of some wonderful brothers and sisters today who love God and who worship God and who also invite you to come. That's when you're in Houston, Houston's First Baptist Church over in Cypress. You know, in studying God's Word today, I want to share something with you. You know, Samaritan's Touch is about reaching out and helping the homeless right where they are. And for the next couple of Sundays, we're going to look at that. Beginning today in John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. You see, that's the man at the pool of Bethsaida. What we can say about the man at the pool of Bethsaida is he serves as a classic example of what Samaritan Touch Homeless Services is all about. Meeting the homeless right where they are. You know why? Because it was Jesus himself who taught us and who teaches us that you meet people right where they are. Let's go into the book of John. The Bible says in John chapter 5, verses 1 through 9, sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews. Now there was in Jerusalem near the Sheep's Gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethsaida, which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used it to lie: the blind, the lame, and the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in that condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool where the water is stirred, where I'm trying to get in. Someone else goes there down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, listen very carefully, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And at once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and he walked. I would call that, in 2023, a Samaritan's Touch moment. Jesus teaching us the value of making contact with people and realizing when someone is in need and reaching out to touch that person's life in whatever way that you can. Now, the man at Bethsaida holds a great lesson. Jesus teaches us something. The fact of the matter is, there's a man, 38 years, ignored, unrecognized, homeless, hopeless, faithless, downtrodden, practically invisible by those who would come. No one helped him. People stepped over him, walked by him, passed by him. But in this snapshot, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, teaches us a valuable lesson in meeting people right where they are. This, my friends, is the beginning of the Samaritan Touch moments in the scriptures that teaches us and that helps us understand the kind of model that we need to be. You know, there's no greater teacher than Jesus Christ. And I myself choose to follow Jesus and to walk using the examples that he has given. My friends, Jesus noticed this man. Jesus spent time listening to him and hearing him out. Jesus paid attention to the plight of this man. Jesus served this man and healed this man, cured this man of an ailment that he had for 38 years. That would not have happened if he ignored him, if he stepped over him, if he turned the other way, if he didn't see him. My friends, we have a great lesson here in John chapter 5. The healing at the pool is a watershed moment The healing at the pool is a watershed moment to you and I. It becomes in 2023 a Samaritan touch moment. Looking at our goals, looking at our principles, looking at our objectives in our ministry, Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services. We want to do exactly what Jesus did. We want to do it and perform in the way that Jesus performed, making a difference in people's lives, stepping up and stepping out and showing the world that you can care about people in 2023, that you can make a difference in their life. At Samaritan's Touch, we want to mirror the walk of Jesus. We want to notice the homeless people of the world, the disadvantaged and the needy. And we want to ask them the same question that Jesus asked. Do you want to get well? In the way that we can help them get well, we want to ask them that question in the park and on the streets, in the encampments. We want to ask them, do you want to get well? Do you want to live again? Do you want to feel alive? Do you want to know what it's like to be whole again? That's what Jesus asked the man at the pool. He met him where he was, and we want to meet people where they are. We show ourselves to be friendly, not to frown upon those who are less fortunate or those who don't have what we have. We want to talk to them. We want to interact and engage with them. We want to speak hope into their lives and their hearts. We want to show them the definition of kindness. We want to spend time with them, and we want to nurture their walk back to life. Because many of them are like walking dead men. Many of them have no hope. They just need someone to walk up like Jesus walked up in John 5. They just need someone to open their heart, to notice them, to recognize them, to reach out to them, to serve them, to show them that they care, and to reinstill that life is worth living. At Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, we want to communicate to the homeless and the disadvantaged and the needy not to give up. We want them to know life is worth living because Jesus said life is worth living, because their soul matters, because what he has prepared to them, for them, is worth knowing about and worth pursuing. You know, at Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, we love this Samaritan's Touch moment where Jesus told that man to get up and to walk. At Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, our goal is to tell those souls that the Lord puts us in front of us to get up and walk. Walk with us to freedom. Walk with us to salvation. Walk with us to life and living again. Walk with us to revival. Because at Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, we fully intend to go the extra mile with all of the people that we meet. We intend to walk the extra mile and engage and remain engaged with the people that we meet and know and help. We want to tell every last homeless person, needy person, and disadvantaged person about the love of God and Jesus Christ. And then we want them to pick up their mats physically and spiritually and walk right back into life. Walk right back into the love and the understanding of their family and the church. We want to be there to reinstill their faith, to get them back into living again, and more specifically, living for God. Knowing the love of Jesus and living for God. The goal of Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services is simple. That's the work of the Father who has sent us here to do his work. We must work while it is day, for night come, no man can work. We must take the skills that God has given us. And we must walk up to those individuals who don't know Jesus, who've lost their faith in God. And we've got to ask them the question, do you want to get well? Do you want to be healed? The Great Commission says go. We are to go into the world and teach the gospel of Jesus. We are to go in the world and be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. We are to go into the world and be the city that sits on the hill that cannot be hid. That is the mission of Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, to create Samaritan's Touch moments all throughout the valley, land, and country. Wherever we go, Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services is going to create the Samaritan's Touch moments by the grace and love of God. We know who we believed in, and we're persuaded that he's able to keep that which committed against that day. 2 Timothy 1 and verse 12. My friends, we intend to fulfill the will and the work of God. We need your prayers, we need your encouragement, we need your support. My friends, Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services is a service that we provide, that we hope will spread the word and the will of God. We hope to set an example above all examples as we reach out and we meet the homeless where they are. We provide the on-site support and care services, that we would assist them to get back into life and on the road to dependence. My friends, if you'd like to know more about Samaritan Touch Homeless Services, you can contact us at 602-535-7323. That is 602-535-7323. And Samaritan Touch Homeless Services, if you'd like to support us, you can support us simply with a small contribution or commitment of $12.50 a month. If you do that with our nonprofit organization, everything goes back into the ministry. No one's taking any vacations here. No one's buying any Mercedes-Benz here. We're simply got our sleeves rolled up, and we're serious about taking God's message and ministry to the street. Serious about meeting as many people at the pool of spiritual Bethsaidias as possible. Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services wants to do simply and humbly the work of an evangelist. In the encampments, in the parks, on the streets. That's where you'll find Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services and its faithful volunteers. Our time is gone for today, but Jesus taught us a great lesson. And in that great lesson we learned today, people matter no matter where they are. And at Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, we're going to go where those people are. We're going to demonstrate the love of Christ. We're going to show them the light of God. Be that city of hope, sitting on the hill that cannot be hid. And we encourage you, please support us. Become part of us. Help us complete this mission. You can reach me, Evangelist Darwin Campbell, Samaritan Touch Homeless Services, by calling 602-535-7323. Or you can send a tax-deductible contribution to Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, 9915 West Bell Road, number 412, Sun City, Arizona, 85351. You're more than happy to support us in any way. $12.50 monthly contribution to help operations continue, or you can simply give what you have. We'll take whatever you have and we will use it to God's glory. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the Morning Touch. It is there to encourage us to continue in the will of God. The Morning Touch, brought to you by Samaritan's Touch Homeless Services, FSBC in Glendale, and today hosted by Houston's First Baptist Church in Cypress, Texas. God bless you. God keep you. And we'll see you again next time when we're going to discuss another great Samaritan Touch moment in the Bible. I hope to hear from you soon. God bless you. Take care. You have a great week.